Hey everybody, Don here again, and welcome back to Ragged Edge Lure Works. Well, today is going to be a fun one for me. A few years back, I met a guy, Matt, when I was out hunting at my buddy CJ's farm in Northwest Ohio. Matt and CJ have been friends for years, and we really hit it off. And when I first got started in this painting thing, my original intent was to actually carve lures and then paint them. And I was really following after Nate Marling, but I didn't really have a place to do that. And so I ended up getting the paint outfit set up, figuring, well, if I'm going to carve baits, I better learn how to paint first. And then it just turned into this thing, and I've been painting ever since. And I still have not built a shop where I can actually carve and sand lures. But Matt does that. He's also a big follower of Nate Marling's, and he's painted a bunch of stuff. Carved this little jerk bait, and it's actually, you can't really tell, but it's foiled. I think he gave this to me, and I mean, this is an awesome bait. I love this thing. I haven't caught anything with it yet, and I've only fished it once. Matt has been bitten by the muskie bug. I'll show you a picture or a couple pictures of some muskies he's caught right here. So yeah, Matt's been bitten by that big fish bug, which I totally understand. And so he reached out to me and he said, hey, I'm going to carve some musky lures, but I'd like you to paint them. And I was like, yeah, I'll paint them for you on one condition. You make one for me, and then I'll paint them for you for no charge. So this is what we're looking at. Matt likes to troll for muskies, which I totally get. And he carved up 3 of these, and they've been weighted, and he's done a float test on them, and he really likes the way these things work. So he watched my video of the 500 subscriber giveaway, and that's what he wants me to paint this in. So I'll show you that here. So this was the video I did for my 500 subscriber giveaway, and I kind of called that my version of a golden shiner. And Matt saw that and he said, I like that. I would love it if you painted these baits like that. So he sent me 3. I'm going to paint 2 of them up like that. 2 of them up like that. And then I'm going to paint this one up in my perch pattern. And then I'm going to give him the option of which 2 he wants. I hope he wants one of these and the perch, because I'd kind of like to have one of these lures in that color. But let's get to painting. All right, so you can see I taped up the bills on both of these, and I'm going to start off with some opaque black. And then once I dry that off, I'm going to wrap them up in this mesh, and we're going to throw some gold on them. So stay tuned. All right, so you can tell these things are kind of shiny looking because Matt sealed them up with some epoxy. I have just mixed up some opaque black. I cleaned out the brush to make sure everything was running good, and put in some 4011 and some 4030 balancing clear. Mixed up quite a bit because we got a big lure to paint. Let's see how she holds. I'm going to take several coats. I haven't painted in a few weeks. I had my pressure turned way down. I got to pay him a little more attention to what I'm doing. mixed up some UVLS. I'm going to give these things a good coat of that, but I'm going to turn on the fan because this stuff is potent. Okay, so I cut out, using this stencil, some pieces of tape to make a gill pattern. We're just going to get that relatively close to where I want it. Flip it over and do the other side. So we got that pretty close on both sides. And now I'm going to wrap it in mesh. And we're going to attach it down at the bottom. I'll pull that as tight as I can and clip it onto that hook eye. Okay, you can see I've got the gills taped off and the big mesh put on there. Now I'm going to mix up some pearlized copper. Mixed up some pearlized copper with some 4011 and some 4030. Let's see what we can do here. Don't have to worry about the bottom because that's going to get pearl white. I'm going to just do one coat on each of these and then I'll dry it and put a second coat on. All right, let's take a look at these things. The big reveal. Ooh, man, is that cool looking or what? Now the bottoms I'm going to cover with opaque, with pearl white. That scale pattern is big, but this is a big bait and I think it works. And we'll mess around with those gills in a bit. Let's look at this one. See if it came out equally as good. Let's pull off this tape. Now I'm going to do something different with this head. I'm not exactly sure what just yet. But I wanted to have this line of a gill plate well defined. So we'll probably we'll probably paint this with gold. We'll put that stencil back on here to block this part, and we'll figure out exactly what we're going to do there. Kind of experimenting as we go. Thankfully, I have artistic freedom. All right, good. All right, what's next? All right, I've been trying to figure out exactly what I want to do next. And I think what I'm going to do, I just mixed up some pearl white. I'm going to do the bellies of these things right up to the chin on both of these and give them a good coating. Try to cover up all that black and gold with pearl white. And then I'm going to flip them on the side and maybe just bleed that over onto the side a little bit. So it's coming up the side a little bit. I'm not sure. I'm still debating what I'm going to do with the head. So stick around. Let's see what happens. Mixed up some pearl white with some reducer and some 40-30, and let's go. And just several light coats it's going to take to cover that up. Yeah, several coats. All right, so finished up the pearl white on the bottom. I came up the sides a little bit, and then I just gave from a far distance, just gave a little bit of overspray to subdue that gold just a little bit. I like the look of it. Still debating what to do on the head. You know, I think what I'm going to do on the back is I'm going to come in with sepia, and I might put some sepia over this black here, and I might do something with maybe some red on these gills, and then put some sepia down here as well. But want to subdue that back, get rid of a lot of those scales. I think sepia is the way to go. All right. We're going to put a little sepia down the back. Trying to cover up that black with the sepia, I don't think is going to work, but I think that's going to look okay. I'm going to work on the head. All right, I've decided what I'm going to do on this. In the first time I did one of these, I used shifters. I used this dark green to tin. Not crazy about the way that came out. And because I decided to go with the little sepia down the back, which is a kind of a brownish color, I'm going to use this bright gold to brown shifters. Now this is a little bit more of a green than a brown, but I think it might look okay on the head on this thing. So got the brush cleaned out, and I'm just gonna put a little of this in here. And then what I'm gonna do, let's turn this camera on. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use this stencil just to kind of block that, but I'm going to let it go a little beyond where I finished the black. We'll see what it looks like. You can see it is very much more of a green than a brown. But yeah, it is a little bit more of a green. I wish these things were a little more accurate in their description of the color, but what are you going to do? Just a light coat on the top to kind of blend that in. Kind of like the look of that. I gotta think about this for a little bit. Throw a little bit more of this on the brush. Let's just touch the bottom of it a little bit. Liven that up a little bit. Okay, what I'm going to do now is I loaded up a little more sepia. I'm going to come over the top of this with this kind of this speckled look. Yeah. Give that a little extra texture. I don't know. What do you think? I might go a little bit more up on the on this part of the gill. Yeah, I like that. I'm really just playing around, just trying to figure out what I think is going to look good. Nice thing about giving artistic freedom. All right, well, I just sent the pictures over to Matt because I'm really not happy with the way these are coming out, but he said he is fine with them. He said, put a little red on the gills and under the chin, and I'm good. And I was like, all right, well, you're too kind. So let's see if I can put a little bit of this transparent red right on the gills area here without going crazy. Just a little bit like that. Flip it over and do the same thing on the other side. Without this thing falling over. There we go. Now I'm going to put some under the chin. And let's try it. Same thing on this one. I'm really not happy with the way this one came out. I'm done playing with shifters. You know what? Let's do this without the helping hands. Yep. And on this side. Under the chin. I'm going to put some more UVLS on that because I'm not epoxying these. I'm shipping them to him, and he's going to put the epoxy on them. All right, well, here's the semi-finished product, and I say semi-finished because I am not going to put a clear coat on these. Matt is trying out a new automotive spray clear coat, and he wants to use that on these. So I'm more than happy not to deal with the clear coat on these. But I gotta tell you, this is not my best work, and I'm not really very proud of these. I told Matt at one point in time I was ready to just paint them over and start from scratch and do something different, but he said, man, you're being too hard on yourself. And I guess I have been told that I am my harshest critic. But I don't know. I want to do better. But he'll get either one of these that he wants. This one, I really wasn't happy with the way the shifters were coming out. I guess it doesn't look so bad now, but I didn't really like that. So on this one up here, I just opted to leave the head black and put the speckles right on the black. I think it looks better, but I don't know. Whichever one Matt wants, that's the one he'll get. And then I'll be painting that other big lure up in my perch pattern, which I'm much more comfortable with my perch. In the meantime, that will be for another video. So thanks for watching this one, and we'll see you next time. Peace.